Okay, this is I'm going to go over comments again, day 45, part 2. And these are the comments. I talked a lot about McCabe and moving to Chappaqua and so forth, and all the power and crews and digging and pedestals and vaults and all the things that changed up there. And I thought, geez, it just looks like they're moving money out of Indonesia and Malaysia and European banks and offshore banks and mining all the Bitcoin for Hillary to get, resources for the future. Hillary to ready for the get her treasure trove organized in Chappaqua for the big drive to the presidency. And it's amazing how when something just fits, how a lot of data comes together from the DNC to Chappaqua. The reason why I believe it moves from DNC to Chappaqua is the two operations are done. The first operation is looting DCCC. The second operation is looting DNC while there's still other candidates getting money. Then when you're done and you eliminate Bernie, then you don't need to do that anymore and you move the operations to Chappaqua. Again, you don't want your hackers being arrested. When they're exposed at DNC, when they're exposed at DCCC, there's an ability to get arrested. So it's the same reason why I think for the OIG hack of DHS, you come in with a team. I'm not saying Lisa Grafenstein, but somebody like that. You come in with a team. You say, here's your vulnerability risk. We're going to look and do all this vulnerability testing. We're going to download all these files. Now, oops, I stole the Inspector General's laptop again, took it over to Hawkshead. And again, ask Andre Taggart when I would remember when somebody came over to my house with an FBI raid. Ask Andre Taggart what day the FBI raid and the NCIS people came over and the Capitol Police came over and got that. The OIG laptop, and I believe it's going to be, I believe they stole an Inspector General's laptop. I'm not saying Lisa Grafenstein's, but remember there was 4 laptops and 20 Blackberries with government markings, and there was the toner. So I'm going to say right now, I believe that was the DHS OIG laptop. Again, the Capitol Police report would tell us that, and there would be no reason to repress that if that wasn't true, correct? So anyway, I want to go through this and why operations moved DCCC, DNC, then Chappaqua. And I wanted to say that, how does somebody live in New York and then their wife is running for Virginia? I'm saying that McCabe is buying this house for the Awans to live at. I'm not saying Andrew McCabe is moving up there. I'm saying he's setting up this command center, and if everything looks like a command center in Chappaqua, he's setting it up for the Awans to move up there. Now, I'm not saying a Seth Rich doesn't come up there, or a satellite person like Hina Alvey doesn't come up there as well. But I think Hina Alvey's your satellite person. The hacking team is going to follow Imran. Okay. So anyway, DCCC, DNC, those two operations are done. Then you move everything to Chappaqua, just based on metadata. And then you only need to be up there a day or a weekend to buy the house, and then you're back with your wife. So I think that's what happened. There's a lot of action right now inside. Now I made a mistake yesterday. It wasn't Kislyak that died. It was Churkin that died. So there's been like 9 Russian ambassadors die. So he died right about a month later, and I conflated the two. So there's a correction there, just to make sure you got that right. But I love corrections because then people remember corrections better than they do if you said I was right. Because people hate to hear people say I was right. People love to hear people say I was wrong. And I corrected you, and I love it. So keep correcting me because it only reinforces that Churkin died right after that. So it makes me think Churkin's the guy that they did the deal with, rather than Kislyak. It's just one thing after another. Now, this is an interesting one I did last night with Lisa Page. Again, we're down to the people actually making the moves. So once you get the actors, then you can just follow their schedule around and just query their schedule and ask for discovery on their schedule, and then ask them questions around their schedule. And Lisa Page is ubiquitous with this Peter Strokes. And she had this criminal offense over in Ohio. And I said, hey, that really makes me think about Strongsville, because I was in Strongsville. That's where one of the Saipob trucking companies was. That was where this creepy school was. That was where I thought, hey, there's this weird European center there that got raided by the FBI. So for 10 years, we have a color of law operation where we're bringing people into this Strongsville adoption agency. And if you read down a little bit farther, it's got all these kids from all these different countries running it for the State Department. Now, that wouldn't be particularly significant. I'll read a little bit farther into this. That wouldn't be particularly significant if it wasn't for the fact The State Department says these European adoption consultants, EAC, European adoption consultants, were from Bulgaria, blah, 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 all these different countries. And then Ukraine, 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 Ukraine. Now I realize it's the last one. But this is the one that's the funnel for the Russian kids. What they're doing is they're giving Russian kids and Russian families Ukrainian visas. So this was the Paul Manafort connection. And they're coming in and bringing them in through this Strongsville, Ohio. And it's out of the way, where nowhere else is. This is where one of the Saipov trucking companies is. Why do I think the EB5s are related to this? Well, Saipov got 23 EB5s. Saipov has a trucking company here in Strongsville. So that's why I think that. No other reason. Plus, right here where Stevie Steve gets his haircut, I went out there to where Stevie Steve, this mass murderer, who I thought was involved in killing the trucking folks down in Ohio, down this way a little bit, and he's right there. He's right at this nexus, right along with everybody else. He's also the guy at the Cleveland Clinic. You know, when these visitors are coming in from UAE and Dubai and Abu Dhabi, he's the one running between the children's center and mentally handicapped kids are dying in their sleep, and then there's these successful heart operations the next day. So it's kind of like Stevie Steve, and I went to his barber shop, and I went to all these different barbershops where the people were killed, and he just seems to be in the middle of it. Everything seems to rotate around Strongsville. Now, the fact that Peter Stokes' dad has this kind of correspondent relationship with all these mullahs in 9 different countries, in these Arab countries, leads me to believe that's the sales network. You know, I mean, it's just, I know that's a wild speculation, but I just connect the dots all the way from, hey, all these different countries are the customers, and all these Ukrainian kids are, being shopped out, and they're meeting them here, somewhere out here at this creepy place. They're meeting and say, yeah, I want that one, and then they're getting on the plane and flying home. From Cleveland International Airport. I'm not sure, but it just the metadata screams that. Why is Lisa Page in a company with Paul Manafort? Why is she a partner in a company with Paul Manafort? Why? Why would that be? Now, is that a 9 or 10 year sting? I guess so. I guess it's a 9 or 10 year sting. So anyway, good comments. Sorry about the mistake about Shurkin. The Lisa Page connection here. Some people said Lisa Page is a Mossad agent, whatever. The Lisa Page connection here to Paul Manafort is a very strong one, and I believe they're EB5s. Like I said, if Saipov didn't have a trucking company here, and it was Bright Auto or something like that, and a car company, I wouldn't say anything. He has another one in Cincinnati, which leads me to believe there's going to be another funnel near Cincinnati.